Okay. Hi, everyone. Thanks so much for tuning in with us. I'm here with Ashley, who is an alumni from our Recalibrate program. And thanks, Ash, for being here with us today. We just wanted to talk about what your experience was like with Recalibrate. And I know that it actually had some pretty profound shifts for you. And I guess the first question is, what led you to choose to join Recalibrate? How did you find us, and how did you make the decision to say yes?
I was, to just be in full disclosure, I was struggling immensely with chronic pain for many years, more intensely the last 6 years since having my son, and trying to be able to be of value to my family, my friends, and myself. I just was struggling to be alive, to feel joy with having and living with chronic pain. And so feeling debilitated every day, but also feeling like I have to still show up for my family, my friends, my work. And I was desperate. I was looking for help from the medical industry, and I just wasn't finding a solution to my existing chronic pain. And I have always been solution orientated, and I just wasn't accepting that I have to live like this any longer. And it was through my business and always being on social media that I happened to come across a story about asking, like, are you burnt out? Do you feel mentally exhausted? Are you tired? Are you anxious? Are you in chronic pain? It was probably the chronic pain one that got me to open up and learn more about, I don't know if it was you or Rachel, but I started to be more intrigued of more of a holistic approach. I thought at the time, knowing that I've done everything, I've gone to every therapy possible in Vancouver. I have tried and seen and spent thousands of dollars on trying to figure out what is wrong with my body. And I just knew that there would be a solution. I just didn't know who to go to, where to find it. And it was just a story on Instagram that brought me to, like, those are all yeses for me. And let's look into something else. Like, why not? I mean, I've done everything else. So it was through Instagram that I found one of you, I think it was Rach, posting about your healing kind of journey and offerings that you can give to people that are struggling in different areas of their life.
Yeah, thanks, Ashley. As you know, like, you and I have a similar story of how we came to this type of work, and through body pain and struggle there. And so I just really appreciate you speaking candidly about that, because I think there's so many people out there that have been on that journey of trying everything, and it's just a little missing part of the conversation around the why, and like the how did I get to this place, and then the embodiment piece of actually bringing ourselves back online again. And so once you were in Recalibrate, what was that like for you? How did that impact you?
Firstly, it was a hard decision for me to make. And I remember having actually some good conversations with you and Rachel about the commitment. I'm super busy, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to commit myself if I wanted to do this and actually invest in this. Was I able to give that time? And I committed because I can only, I'm at the bottom, I can only go up. And so I realized, when I said yes to the commitment financially, the commitment for my time, I realized that I don't have any other way. Like, I've kind of done everything. And so this could be what's missing for me is this. And once I got into doing and learning about what the 6 weeks looked like, within the first session, I knew that this is where I needed to be. it felt extremely safe and non-judgmental. And that's what I need for me to be vulnerable and share. And I just knew through the kindness and the acknowledgement of our own situations, like we all have our own journeys, and everyone was treated so equally, which I loved. Voices were heard, and we all came out of it. Each session, we were able to, if we wanted to share, we could. If we don't have to. But it was just such a deep, profound learning for me about my body, mind, awareness, and my worth.
Wow. Wow, that's incredible, Ashley. It's really inspiring to hear you talk about it. How has this impacted you moving forward? What was the greatest takeaway?
I think knowing what my body individually needs, understanding each day will be a day of learning. This is about progress to me. This is about non-judgment of my body and the messages that it's sending me. We all have, our day-to-day life that we go through and how to manage it. And the tools I have now to handle, whether there's stressors that happen, or even excitement and that energy, or learning to say no because it's not aligning with me, understanding boundaries and knowing I don't have to say yes if it's not saying yes. If my message in my heart or my body is saying no, I don't have to say yes. And that's okay. I would say the knowing where I came from was the biggest, like, I'll get teary here, but it's like knowing where we came from. And this is who I am. And I'm okay with who I am. I love who I am. And now I can help that person on the needs that the body sends me messages every day. And I have to just, I have the tools to help my body.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And they're so, you look at them and think how simple they are, but I didn't know to do these things. It wasn't something I was aware of doing that I could do to help my body go through my day-to-day stressors or day-to-day energy that I'm feeling.
Yeah. Oh, amazing. Yeah. Actually, it's just what you're speaking to is really what Rachel and I strive for, is just to give people options, really, of like how to show up and how to support themselves, because it's really about that. Like, how do you navigate your life? And of course, we have ups and downs, and things regress, and that's natural. And when you can recognize it, like, and you can see it and start to be in choice around the yeses, the nos, where you put your boundaries of what you need to do to actually take care of yourself, it has such a huge impact, not just on your health, but on the health of the people around you too, that you can show up for. I wonder if you could speak a little bit to that, of how your life has changed since Recalibrate, maybe, like how that's affected maybe your work or your home life.
Finding space for me. So giving myself permission and knowing what I need. So my day-to-day, like I was sharing earlier, is that I woke up and I wasn't feeling very good in my chest. And so I came downstairs and I gave myself permission to do something about it. And I stretched. I was able to, I have that understanding that this is important and you are worth that time to go and do this. So my day-to-day, I feel things that I didn't feel before, when they're like, even my dog barking, and understanding the loudness and the bark, the impact that has on my nervous system, I didn't understand. And so what are things that I can do if I understand that that's a trigger for me? What can I do to support my environment, like with my having my dog, and then also knowing that he is going to bark. And so I'm aware of those triggers now and what I need. So if I need space to just give myself time alone, I do it now. And I can feel it. I can feel like sometimes flushes of my cheeks. And so I'm aware of my body's response to stress. And then being able to say, I can just sit here and look around the room and what catches my attention and put my hands on my knees. And see, it's like these things that seem simple, but they are part of like my healing throughout each day. And I feel because I did this, I believe was it April, Recalibrate, and being able to consistently show up for myself every day and learning to say no to things that aren't aligned with me, putting boundaries in relationships that I don't find serve me in a positive way, like all these areas of improvement, but then knowing how to physically help my body. So physically meaning like, you know, exercising the internal organs inside me. I know how to do that. And I know how to breathe. Oh my gosh, the breathing part, that every day I am so conscious of my breath. And when things feel tight, and I learned how to breathe, learned how to breathe through my tension and my stress. And those things every single day since April have brought me to a place where I went 2 full straight months of no pain, no physical pain. And the freedom and liberty I felt was so good. And I started to be able for the first time in years to jog and do the things that I was feeling like my body was putting me in jail. Like I couldn't do those things I wanted to do. And knowing that I can do them again, but it's through steps each day and progress each day that it compounds and you get better. It's just like I feel so much better.
It's amazing, Ashley. I remember when we did our intake with you, and I remember you saying like that you wish that you could run again. And when you posted on your Instagram stories that you had gone for a run, I just about cried because I felt so overjoyed for you to know that you weren't pushing your body to do that, that your body was inviting you to do that, to be able to go to that place. And yeah, it's really exciting. It's really inspiring. And I wonder if you could talk about, so sometimes people come to this work and they're like, oh, I'm not sure if it's for me. I don't know if it's okay to show up in this space. I'm not sure about the sharing and in community and the information, of how much information is going to be presented. What would you tell someone who's sitting on the fence looking at this course going, maybe?
I would say you're worth it. You're worth it to even just sit and listen and take in the information. If you don't feel it's a place that you can share, that's okay. Meg and Rach aren't judging anybody, you know, like I felt so inclined to share. And I think I'll say this out loud, is I struggle with journaling through my own childhood trauma. And so I don't journal. And I think where I get my healing is through my words and being in a place of community. But perhaps journaling would be, instead of sharing out loud, journaling. When I was going through this, listening to what others had to share made me feel like I am normal. I'm okay being in this space. I'm okay. We all have our struggles and things that we are challenged with, and they're going to look different. We all have our, you know, some people are just struggling day to day without having, say, childhood trauma, but they are struggling in their areas of life. And I think that's the thing, is we all come from our own lives together. It's just a very, like, for me, it was my missing gap. I couldn't for years understand how to fix myself until I did this.
Thank you, Ashley, for sharing so vulnerably about what your experience was. I know that that we're so grateful to be in the space with you and to be able to hold space for you while you're in the course and to continue that relationship with you now as well. And is there anything else that you want to share or let anybody that's listening know about this experience with Recalibrate? Any last words?
There's so much, the education behind it is enough. You know, you don't have to share, you don't have to tell story, but you learn so much science behind the course. And I think the science led with the community of people, led with like our hearts, like it's the whole package. So I know that there could be people listening and feel fearful to want to share, then don't. But if you do, think of all of the things that will come of it. Like there's so much support and people just listen and then they just love on you, you know? It's just such a beautiful experience. So I'm definitely for me, the time, the financial investment, all of that was 100%, it was worth it. And that's what I now know. I have a healing team, and you get a healing team from Megan Rach. And that's really important. That was important for me, is knowing I need to figure out how to get myself better. And there's people out there that can help you. Everybody needs this. I honestly, like when I was going through it, I was thinking my mom, my dad, my brother, like everybody could use this program of understanding. It's like learning taxes. Everybody needs to learn taxes. Everybody needs to learn recalibrating your nervous system.
Totally. I couldn't agree more. I feel the same way. You know, there's definitely certain types of people that are drawn to this type of work, but wow, what a world we'd live in if we all had this information at our fingertips. I just want to thank you again, Ashley, for coming in and sharing and being here with us. It's so great to see your face. And
you too.
And
thank you for being a part of my healing team.
My pleasure, completely. Okay, we'll see you again really soon. Bye. Okay.